Let me be very, very clear. We love sports. We cherish the moments of triumph, the last-second victories, the sheer athletic poetry in motion. We put these athletes on a pedestal. We call them heroes. We name our children after them. But let me ask you a question. What happens when the spirit of competition turns dark? What happens when the insatiable desire to win, to dominate, to be the greatest, crosses a line? A line of morality, a line of legality, a line of basic human decency. That, my friends, is when the hero becomes something else entirely, something sinister. Today, we're counting down the top 10 real-life villains in sports. I'm talking about individuals who had the world in the palm of their hands and squandered it. It starts right now. Let's start with a man who was more than an athlete. He was a symbol. Lance Armstrong, a cancer survivor who came back. He dominated the Tour de France 7 times. We all bought the story. We wore the yellow bracelets, but beneath that golden facade was a lie. For years there were whispers, accusations from former teammates, and questions from journalists. Armstrong denied it. He attacked critics. He sued people and bullied anyone who stood in his way. Then USADA released a 1,000-page report, the most sophisticated doping program sport had ever seen. He was stripped of 7 tour titles. Sponsors fled. The face of resilience became the face of deceit. He sat with Oprah and confessed, admitting EPO, testosterone, HGH. Not just a doper, but the puppet master of a doping syndicate. He cheated the sport and us. He stole hope from cancer survivors. For that reason, Lance Armstrong is one of the greatest sports villains. Now let's take it to the ice. The world of figure skating. She was phenomenal. The first American woman to land the triple axel. Raw, tough, from the wrong side of the tracks. Her rival was Nancy Kerrigan, the media darling. The rivalry built to the 1994 Olympic showdown. On January 6, 1994, Nancy Kerrigan was struck on the knee with a police baton, an attempt to knock her out of the Olympics. The attacker was Shane Stant, hired by Jeff Gillooly and Sean Eckhart. The trail led to Tanya's inner circle. Harding pleaded guilty to conspiring to hinder prosecution. She was banned from U.S. figure skating for life, a disgrace. The attack remains one of the most infamous acts in sports history. Tonya Harding, a villain on ice. There has never been, and there will never be, another athlete quite like Iron Mike Tyson. In his prime, he was the most fearsome, most intimidating and destructive force boxing had ever seen. With fame came a dark side. Volatility off the ring, tumultuous marriage, tabloid obsession. The true descent into villainy came with his 1992 rape conviction, a heinous crime that transcends sport. He returned from prison and remained a massive draw. Here was morbid curiosity replacing hero worship. Then the bite fight in 1997, he bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear. Disqualified, license revoked, fined millions. A complex tragedy. Incredible talent corrupted by demons and horrific choices, a villain to many. In the world of football, Luis Suarez is a genius with the ball. Prolific, magical, champions and golden boots. But that talent came with a shocking, bizarre dark side. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. First, in 2010 at Ajax, he bit Otman Bakel. Then in 2013 at Liverpool, he chomped Branislav Ivanovic. Astonishing. And the trifecta, the 2014 World Cup bite on Giorgio Chiellini. FIFA banned him for months. The world recoiled. Beyond biting, deliberate handball in 2010 to deny Ghana, simulation, diving, angry confrontations. A phenomenal talent, yes, but repeated, inexplicable aggression makes him one of modern football's most controversial figures. Let's move to the sideline. Bill Belichick, without question, one of the greatest football minds. 6 Super Bowl rings as coach, the architect of a 2-decade dynasty. But suspicion boiled over in 2007. Spygate. Patriots videotaping opponent signals. Cheating, plain and simple. Belichick was fined $500,000. The Patriots lost a draft pick. Reputation stained. Then Deflategate in 2015. Accusations of deliberately underinflated footballs. Scientific tests. Lengthy appeals. His legacy is complicated. Genius coach, but scandals seeded doubt. Belichick the cheater, the hoodie that can't hide stains on his record. Back to the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Billed as the dirtiest race in history. Ben Johnson exploded out of the blocks and set a new world record, 9.79. 3 days later, positive drug test, stanozolol. The dream became a nightmare. The gold was stripped and awarded to Carl Lewis, the world record erased. Johnson appeared at the Dubin inquiry and admitted steroid use, the poster boy for doping, a spectacular fall from grace, a villain to sport, his country, and the Olympic ideal. In English football, John Terry is a club legend, captain, leader, winner of every trophy at Chelsea. Revered by Chelsea fans, reviled elsewhere. His reputation is polarizing. A tabloid affair in 2010 cost him the England captaincy, a symbolic betrayal on the pitch. In 2011, he was accused of racially abusing Anton Ferdinand, acquitted in court but found guilty by the FA and banned. To Chelsea, he's a legend. To many others, a deeply flawed villain, a man you can't help but boo. Some figures defy easy categorization. Diego Armando Maradona, El Pibe de Oro. To many, a god. Arguably the most gifted footballer ever, artistry with the ball, he could dribble through teams and win a World Cup. But his villainy is encapsulated in one match, 1986 quarterfinal versus England. First, the hand of God. He punched the ball into the net, the ref missed it. 4 minutes later, he dribbled from his half-past 5 players, the goal of the century. Angel and devil in one man. Off the pitch, he battled cocaine addiction, suspensions, health issues. Sent home from the 1994 World Cup. A flawed, troubled genius. A hero to many, a cheat and villain to others. Above all, unforgettable. In baseball, Pete Rose embodied hustle, Charlie Hustle, an all-time hits leader with 4,256 hits. He should be a Hall of Famer. He is banned from baseball for life. He bet on baseball, on his own team. That violated the sport's cardinal rule, no betting on baseball. For 14 years he denied it, then eventually admitted it in 2004. The trust was shattered. A brilliant career overshadowed by a catastrophic flaw. Pete Rose became a permanent villain of the game. We end with a modern villain, Vontaze Burfict, a player known more for dirty plays than highlight reels. Personal fouls, unnecessary roughness, vicious helmet shots, a heat-seeking missile of malice. In the 2016 wildcard game, he delivered an illegal helmet shot to Antonio Brown that cost his team the game. Suspensions and fines piled up. The league hit him with the longest suspension for an on-field act. In an era of player safety, he was a throwback to brutality, a liability, and for many, the ultimate modern sports villain. 10 stories of talent, triumph, and ultimate tragedy, from Armstrong's calculated deception to Burfict's on-field thuggery. Each stood at a crossroads between greatness and infamy, and chose a path to disgrace. Their stories remind us that character matters as much as talent, that rules exist for a reason. They held a mirror up to sports and showed its ugliest reflection. They betrayed our trust and tainted the games we love. Who do you think is the biggest villain in sports? Tell us in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more deep dives.